Hi, everybody. Miro with Wasteland Realty here. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome to Park Bench Plainfield, your local community website where we feature and share the stories of business professionals who live or work in the Plainfield area. Today, my guest is Jennifer, and she is the owner of Bronkberry Farms right here in Plainfield. I hope that you enjoy her story and find it interesting. Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome to Park Bench Plainfield. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
My pleasure. So, one of the things that I always ask people that really gets me curious is how did you get into Bronkberry Farms? What made you want to start it? How did that all come about?
So I am a last of five generations on the Bronx farm, and my all of them before me had been grain farmers, and I knew that after my dad passed away, that with the amount of land that we had, that we weren't, going to make it, quote unquote, as a grain farmer. There just wasn't. Enough there to make a living on. And my husband and I at the time both had other jobs. I was a real estate broker and he was a teamster for the railroad. So after my dad passed, we were like, what are we going to do with our parcel of land? We would go to Michigan and our wonderful surrounding states. We always like to stay local, and which means you can do business locally with your surrounding states, being Michigan, Indiana, and such. So we would go there for blueberries and pumpkins, and we'd bring home some big mums. And one day we were in the truck with a big 18-inch mum in between us on the front of the truck seat. And we kind of looked through it at each other and was like, oh my gosh, why don't we start a garden center? So, because we were going out to Michigan for all the things that we love, and we're like, we have land here, why don't we do this? So that's where our idea came from.
Oh, that's really cool. And actually, I just found out that you and I have something else in common. You used to be a real estate broker. I am a real estate broker, so it's a small world.
Very good. Yes. And that's always, and I still have my broker's license. I'll never give that up. I worked too hard for that.
Oh, I remember taking the test as well. Once you get through it, you should never give it up. I totally agree with you. So, how long
Absolutely.
actually have you had the shop open for business?
Okay, so Bronkberry Farms was established in 2012. So we are now going into our ninth season.
Congratulations. Now, having been in business for 9 years, 8 years plus, what would you say are some of the challenges that you faced and you had to overcome?
So um, we wish we would have built a bigger greenhouse because our flower business is booming. But that's okay. We work with the space that we have, and we're very grateful for it. Um, the Probably technology for me, because with me being a true farmer, yeah. So I kind of fight myself with that every year. I always want to I keep getting introduced to the state of the art technology, and I'm like, well, I'm still a farm selling vegetables and wonderful flowers and plants, and apples and pumpkins and such. So for me to use like some kind of barcode system really doesn't make too much sense with the size that we are right now. So we're still kind of old school, with the cash register, and of course we do take credit cards and all that. We've grown into that, but yeah. So, I just teach myself as much as I can on social media and advertising, and use wonderful people like you to try to get the word out there.
Well, I appreciate your kind words. Now, what lessons have you learned, and what would you like to say to someone who's thinking about starting their own business? Obviously, you've been through a lot. What would be your advice to those people?
I would say go for it. It is absolutely the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life. Spend a lot of quiet time in the morning. That's how I like to get my day started. I'm quite spiritual, and I believe in. Um, I have a God in my life, and who has God made a farmer. So here I am. But I do like to start my morning that way. And this morning, I spent it kind of reminiscing a little bit on really where I came from, my roots, so to say. And just thinking about back where my grandma and grandpa and my great grandmas, they all lived over on the farm. And when I'm over there, my emotions will skyrocket because I still love to dig my hands in the dirt, even though for the most part you guys will see me up at the cash register greeting people and such, and staying keeping the farm running. However, my favorite part is if you don't see me at the counter, I'm probably got my hands out there in the dirt. I just really am grateful for where I came from, and will never forget the roots, like I said, where I came
Right.
from. And in fact, I just wanted to share with you that we actually found a yoke, which would be what they use, for the horses, for the plows and such behind. And we found one of those out in our tree line when we were first getting the farm organized. And I believe that was something that my grandpa used. So it's just amazing.
Well, how interesting. The history behind it is absolutely amazing. And I could not agree with you more when it comes to starting the day off on the right foot. I think nothing, sets you up better for, having a great day. If, because so many times, if it starts off on the wrong foot, it seems like it's one thing after another. So I agree
Yeah.
with you 100% there. What are some of the products that you guys offer? Because I know there's an array of services, right?
There definitely is, and thanks for asking. So I'll just start kind of by season. That's kind of the easiest way. The one thing is will have people remember us in the spring for our flowers, but then forget that we've got the fall pumpkins, mums, and apples. But I will start from the spring season. We offer hanging baskets, annuals, and flats and pots and containers, and vegetable plants, and also fresh herb plants to start. And if you don't have space to do a garden, containers work well. So that's our spring. And then always in the store, you're going to find our amazing jams and pickles and all of our canned items. We have amazing salsas and apple butters and peach butter and pepper jellies. All that is in our general store. And we also have our own beehives on the property. So when we say local honey, that honey is coming from the back tree line, which separates our vegetable garden and the apple trees. And then we go into the summer garden, which we grow all of our own vegetables from, and we stay to the basic vegetables. So tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, and we have a patty pan squash, which is a zucchini. Some people know what patty pans are. If you don't, I highly recommend you coming in the summertime and trying those. And I'll give you a sample and give you a recipe. They've become my favorite vegetable. Yeah, can't wait. And then we go into some green beans and purple beans. And again, we do grow the herbs. And so if you don't want to grow your own herbs, you can come to the farm and purchase a bundle of dill or basil. We just grow the basics on those as well. And then we have raspberries and blackberries growing. So we'll be picking our own berries in the summertime. And of course, you don't want to miss our amazing extra tender, super sweet corn. Well, our fall will go into our apples. Now, we just got done planting 150 more apple trees. We have a secret recipe from one of our flower growers' grandfathers. So again, going back in history a little bit, we have a secret recipe from him that we tweaked a little bit, so it's even more special to Bronkberry Farms. But my husband will go home after working in a field and make a big vat of caramel. Then we'll pick the fresh apples, and then after working the store for 10 hours a day, not that I'm complaining, but then I'll come home and dip about 75 apples a night. So you guys are going to have, you can't even get a fresher caramel apple than what you can get at Bronkberry Farms. And those will start. I actually had a girl call me the other day. She sounded like she was about 10, and she drove by our sign that's up on Route 59, and she's like, "Do you have your Oreo caramel apples yet?" And I was like, "No, honey, we don't make those until
Oh,
September."
that's priceless.
I was like, oh, I was so excited. It made me almost want to make one. But anyway, so those will start in September, and then we will dip those, daily, every other day at least, to keep them fresh all the way through Halloween. And then in addition to fall, of course, we have a huge mum selection and hanging mums, which are incredible. We've got, of course, the pumpkin patch, and we do the You Pick pumpkins. Also, we have hay rack rides, and we do have a pavilion, which we offer private parties. I know that the social distancing that we're experiencing right now is on everybody's mind. However, moving forward, I just want you guys to know that we do have our pavilion available, which is an open air pavilion. And when the times are right, we will, open that up to rent out for parties. And that information is on our website. I do want to encourage everyone to visit bronkberryfarms.com. I work on my website every year to update it with all of our latest things, and it's pretty well organized with the seasons. There's like a party tab on there, or an event tab, I should say, that you can click on and get a little more information on hosting an event there.
Jennifer, is there anything exciting happening with the business right now that you want to share with people?
Yes, also, we offer to do field trips with the troops. So if you have a little Girl Scout troop, brownies, Cub Scouts, any, little garden clubs. We also like to do special needs groups. We've had bus and school trips come to the farm. We've actually had schools contact us, and what they do is a staggering field trip where they bring one bus load at a time of the kids, and that way we can get them all on the hay rack rides. And I did forget to visit our farm animals. We have 3 goats and live chickens for our farm fresh eggs. So the kids will come and visit the farm animals, go on a hay rack ride, and we show them around and do a little field trip. They can earn their badges, and they can just get out and enjoy the fresh air in the farm and see the animals.
Great, great. Before we wrap things up, I just have one more question for you.
Okay.
Why should people choose Bronkberry Farms?
So you should choose Bronkberry Farms because we are a family-owned local business, and we grow organically. We are not certified organic, but we use minimal pesticides, never use weed killers on our vegetables, and we grow everything right there on Bronkberry Farms. And so if you want the freshest available, and we take pride in the quality of our growers that grow our flowers as well. And we are a friendly, fun place to go. So that's why we recommend coming to Bronkberry Farms.
Once again, Jennifer, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit better and sharing your story with us. There's definitely plenty of history there.
Well, thank you again so much for choosing Bronkberry Farms to interview us today. I was quite excited and thrilled that you invited me this morning. And again, you guys, just please visit the farm, support local. And that not only goes for our business there at Bronkberry Farms, but please consider all your other local businesses during these hard times. Thanks.
My pleasure, and what a great message. Thank you. If you would like more information on Bronkberry Farms, all you have to do is scroll down to the bottom of this page and you'll see all the different ways that you can reach out and connect. And for those of you who would like to get a chance to share your story on this website, please visit www.parkbench.com/Plainfield and click on the request interview link, and we'll take care of the rest. Thanks for joining us, everyone. See you next time.